Ever been ghosted and immediately thought, what did I do wrong? It's such a common reaction, that sudden sting, the anxiety spiral, the urge to replay every message you ever sent. But what if I told you that ghosting has surprisingly little to do with you, and almost everything to do with them? Today we're diving into the real psychology behind disappearing acts, and by the end of this video, you'll see their silence in a completely different light. Ghosting feels deeply personal. It hits you right in the place where you're most vulnerable, your sense of worth. One moment everything seems fine, and the next, nothing. No message, no explanation, no closure. But here's the twist. Ghosting is rarely a reflection of your value. Instead, it reveals someone's emotional limitations, their fears, their unfinished business, and their inability to handle even mild emotional discomfort. When a person ghosts, the first thing it reveals is emotional avoidance. For many people, the idea of saying, "I'm not ready," or "this isn't working," or "I can't give you what you need," feels terrifying. So instead of having an honest conversation, they choose the path that feels easier in the moment, disappearing. It's not that they don't know they're hurting you. It's that they don't know how to deal with the discomfort that comes with being honest. And that's not an excuse. It's a pattern. Ghosting is deeply tied to avoidant attachment, low emotional maturity, and unhealed wounds that make communication feel unsafe. Their silence doesn't say, "You weren't worth it." It says, "I don't know how to show up." Another piece of the puzzle is fear. Fear of conflict, fear of intimacy, fear of vulnerability. People often imagine ghosters as indifferent or cold, but many of them are overwhelmed by their own internal reactions. Sometimes when feelings deepen, avoidant people panic. Not because you're too much, but because emotions feel like territory they don't know how to navigate. For them, disappearing feels safer than staying. Your emotional openness might have activated their emotional fear. Their silence says, "I can't handle this level of closeness," not, "You cared too much." And then there's the simple but powerful truth. Some people have never learned how to communicate in healthy ways. They don't know how to have uncomfortable conversations, how to express boundaries, or how to exit a connection with empathy. A mature person can say, "I'm stepping back." A ghoster simply doesn't have the emotional tools. For them, silence is the only language they know. It's not about your worth. It's about their communication skills, or lack of them. Ghosting can also reveal internal chaos, anxiety, depression, burnout, personal crises. Some people withdraw from everyone when life becomes overwhelming. Unfortunately, you only see your part of the story. All you see is the silence, so it feels like a personal rejection. But often, their disappearance is part of a much bigger emotional shutdown happening in their life. It says, "I'm overwhelmed and I shut down," not, "You overwhelmed me." The deeper truth is this. Ghosting is an emotional shortcut. It's the quickest way out for someone who doesn't want to face the discomfort of honesty. It doesn't make them evil, but it does show you something important about how they handle responsibility. Someone who ghosts avoids accountability. They choose the easy exit, even when it comes at the cost of your peace of mind. That's not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of their avoidance patterns. And here's the part hardly anyone talks about. Ghosting reveals something about you too, but in a way you probably haven't considered. If you were ghosted, it often means you showed emotional availability. You showed authenticity. You showed interest. And sometimes your emotional clarity highlights the areas where another person is lacking. Your presence can make someone aware of their own emotional limitations. Instead of rising to meet your level of honesty, they retreat. Your openness wasn't the problem. It simply illuminated their inability to match it. So here's the most important message. Ghosting is clarity disguised as silence. I know it hurts. I know it feels personal. But disappearing is a loud message about someone's emotional capacity, their readiness for connection, and their ability to communicate. It shows you the truth of who they are much faster than a long, painful relationship would. Instead of wondering what you did wrong, shift the question. What does their behavior tell me about them? And why would I want to build a relationship with someone who can't even offer a basic explanation? You deserve relationships rooted in communication, not confusion. And ghosting, as painful as it is, gives you that clarity. Their silence says more about their emotional world than it ever says about your worth. If this perspective brought you even a little relief, or helped you see your situation differently, let me know in the comments. And if you want more insights on attachment styles, emotional intelligence, and modern dating psychology, make sure to subscribe. There's so much more to uncover about love, connection, and the patterns that shape our relationships.